Hey everyone, nerdygymbros here. Today we're going to talk about our take on Gears of War 5, or actually technically it's called Gears 5. For someone who always plays as player 1, this makes me happy. I finally don't have to be a Phoenix. This is the greatest moment.
Well, technically you didn't have to be Marcus for a specific chapter in Gears of War 3, you got to be Cole.
I know, and I really enjoyed that. It was a reprieve from the negativity. Woo! But I loved Kate and Del in Gears of War 4, and this makes me really happy, because they, to me, are the two most interesting characters in this new saga that they're doing. So to be able to play as Kate, who is my favorite character, you know, because Laura Bailey is one of my favorite voice actresses of all time. So this makes me really happy. Then Del, who is 100,000 times more interesting than JD, and just his optimism and his personality and everything, I really liked Del a lot. So to have them two be the main characters.
Well, I assume we're going to be doing JD.
I'm sure there's going to be like some
and
flashbacks, and you're going to be switching back. What do you call the one guy with the accent?
Foster,
something like that. Well, I really like his accent, and I'm happy that he's in the game. To see that the focus is on Kate and Del's story, and at least what they showed in the trailer looks that way. And I really hope that's the case, because though Kate and Del to me are the most interesting characters right now. So what I really hope doesn't happen is, and we've talked about this before, is I don't want Kate to go completely Queen Myra on all of us and want to just destroy everyone, you know? And I don't want her to kill Del. I mean, obviously there's some built-up mistrust there from something. And like what amazes me is like the ending of Gears of War 4, you saw that JD and Kate were getting close. And then all of a sudden this one, that doesn't look to be the case at all. Something happened, obviously. I mean, to me it looks like JD has like the swarm on his arm. He shaved his head, obviously. He has a new scar in his face. So I mean, a lot has happened since the end of Gears of War 4. And what I really hope happens is that, even though I don't want to have to play JD again, and I like, in Gears of War 4, I liked JD. It was a lot better than his father. And I liked Marcus, and I don't mean that the shit on Marcus or anything like that, because I like the original cast, but god damn it, the man could it wasn't like a Max Payne depressing where it's a humorous depressing. It was just a depressing, and I get it because of the story that telling everything, but fuck, it drove me up the wall. But I really hope
made playing Dom so much better.
It did. I really loved
Dom was so much great.
Yeah, and then you look at someone like Clayton, another
Clayton.
Yeah. So, and let's try to. And I know I'm kind of like bouncing all over the place. I just have a lot of thoughts going through my head. But I wonder at the beginning of like how the one person died, and Dad was like, "You don't want to see this." And I wonder if that was Oscar, because the guy it looked to me like the guy was pretty bigger, you know, and Oscar was a pretty big dude. So I wonder if it was Oscar who died there or not?
I mean, we saw in the end credits that he survived with, one...
Yeah, but obviously he would go and try to find them.
I was just saying, he survived that part of it, so whether or not he survived beyond that, we don't know.
Then I also wonder if Del and Kate are going to become an item instead of JD. Just because, I don't know, they just seem...
Granted, I wouldn't be against it.
I was going to say, because JD seems like he's being a fucking prick.
Yeah.
But it also seems like they're working for, what's her name?
Jen.
Yeah.
I mean, if you notice, he called her Corporal, and he was called Captain in the one trailer, so there's more military ranking going on somewhere within there. Whether they're using Jen to try to figure out.
I was like, that's what I was going to say, if they're using Jen to try to combat the swarm, I kind of get it, but he seems like full-on cog soldier, and I'm not okay with that.
Yeah.
Which is why I'm really, like I said, that's why I'm really happy that...
And the one dude, Foster, even though, he looks cool, it's just, he seems to also be in that military...
That old, I don't want to say old-fashioned, but it just, that very, very cog mindset, where it's just submission.
Marcus, Del, and Kate, Marcus was willing to go.
Yeah, he's like, I'll go with you.
I don't know if he said that, but he was willing to go. And then Del was the one that decided he would go, and if you remember from Gears of War 4...
wasn't Del the reason why they left the cog to begin with?
Yes. because JD was, when they're going down into the one thing, Del was like against going down into basically hell. JD was the one that said to him that when he said that they should leave the cog, that he argued and he didn't. So to me, I wouldn't say that Del and Kate may be coming on him, granted I wouldn't be against that, but I would say it's more that Del is the kind of friend that is always there for someone regardless of the orders and everything. He obviously doesn't like the cog or where it was going. So to me, Del...
he also seems, and I don't want to say disillusioned, but disillusioned with JD, just because he's like, we need to get out of here, he's like, dude, she just lost someone.
Once again, that's my point with Del's character, is that he's the kind of friend that's, he's not stuck in the military mindset, he's still, has his emotion, he still cares about what Kate's going through, cares about JD and everybody, and he's willing to, don't need to, go to the Raven right this second, give the person some time. It's like when, in Lord of the Rings, and this is...
I was like, that's Gears of War to Lord of the Rings, that's a little bit of a jump, you can explain that one.
When they just lost Gandalf in the first movie, and Boromir is the one, saying, give them a moment, because they just lost Gandalf, and Aragorn saying, the orcs are responding in Syria. So that's also a way of how the scene could be, is that it seemed like JD's being a prick, but it's possible that, maybe Swarm is coming, or,
or whatever killed that person.
Yeah, so it's not, I'm not defending JD to say that, he's not being a prick, because it looks like he's being a prick.
Yeah, he looks like he's being an asshole, and obviously he has some reason, because it looks like he's been through some shit,
But at the same time...
But the one thing, I'm sorry I keep interrupting, but it's like, the one thing I really liked about the fourth one was the younger crew, was the fact that they weren't this cog-trained soldiers, that they had these personalities, but it just, they weren't that just, it wasn't this strict mindset,
JD was being smart-ass for...
and this one it seems, obviously it's going to be a lot, it seems to me at least, it's going to be a darker story.
Yeah.
But I really hope we spend more time with Kate and Del than we do with JD. And obviously, to me, I think we're going to have some flashbacks, and we're going to either play as JD, or we're going to play as Marcus, or we're going to see how JD basically more or less lost his arm and has to, like a compressant technology thing to keep it controlled, or whatever the case may be. So that's what it seems to me. It looks like the Swarm has somehow consumed his arm, and obviously he'd been through a fight and he got the scar and everything, so maybe they took his arm and the Swarm latched onto him or something, and the only way to control it and not to take over his body is this machine thing. Cause to me it's something Del would create, like, oh, here, now you don't have to, at least that's, in my eyes, that's what I see. But what do you think about it overall? Because I'm extremely excited. I've been, like, even after I've made you play Gears of War for how many times to get all the achievements with me,
Let's play Gears of War 4. The story mode over and over and over.
We had to do all the difficulties. But ever since that story ended, I always wanted a next one, and I didn't know when it was going to come or whatever the case may be. But I really wonder what is going to occur.
Yeah. Well, from what the two, because we saw there was two trailers, right?
Yeah, there was a shorter one, and then there was a more dialogue-based one.
With both trailers, though, in it, you see that, definitely the shorter one, you're seeing that Kate is really struggling with...
Emotionally,
but with the nightmares and the whole being tied to Locust thing, which, I mean, that was the thing that they tied in at the end of the story with the Locust symbol, so the story that's being told with her, like, I don't want her to become the next queen, but
that would really
the likelihood of that happening, I won't put it past.
But the thing is, they could tell a great story like that where JD and Del are now going to have to kill their friend, but that's not the story I want.
And you'll get over that.
I know, I'll still play it. I know.
Killed 2 Carmines off, or 3 technically.
I know, but I really love Kate's character, and I really love Del's character. Like the one part in the trailer where it shows like Kate pointing a gun. I don't think she kills him there. I think it's just they should emphasize like how much she's struggling internally with everything.
Yeah, if you remember from the one trailer, the shorter one, where they're showing her dealing with the nightmares and everything, is that they show that scene, or what looks like to be that same scene again, and she's saying that she just wants the nightmares and everything to stop. And I don't remember if the gun, she was holding the gun to her head, or if it was just in motion when she was talking. But at the same time, in that scene, it's once again showing the distrust between her and JD, which once again, last we left them, they were hugging it out because she just had to kill her mother. So obviously a lot has changed with that portion, and I'm interested to see what kind of story they tell with that part of it, her struggling with things, because from that shorter trailer again, you saw her actually being captured by a snatcher.
Yeah. It looked like Marcus. And the thing is with the Marcus one, I can't tell if it's from the Gears of War 4 or if it's like, I don't know what the word is, a premonition of what's to come or what the case may be.
I don't remember if he had a giant beard or not. If he had this giant beard, then it was Gears of War 4.
I don't remember the size of his beard.
Well, granted, he can probably grow a beard good, but...
Well, he seemed back to the old Marcus where it's all shaved and he has that little soul patch.
Granted, I like the beard a lot, but environmentally wise, I'm happy we're going, or at least part of it's taking place in the snowy area, just because I like that. I like the new gear with it, but two, I like how the environments look really, really good, just from.
It was like a snowmobile parasail type of. The parasail's wrong because you're sitting up here, but it's like. I can't remember the fucking name.
Kiteboarding?
No, that's not it. But it's something.
Windsurfing?
That actually might it. It was like windsurfing on the back of a snowmobile, maybe. But I know what you're talking about.
Okay. I wonder if that is going to be like the motorcycle chase and all the other vehicle chases we've had throughout the game. Like if we're going to have something with that, because I think that would be pretty cool to do with that.
But I think an achievement called "Get Big Air Off of a Jump and Kill Somebody."
But I like the snowy areas that they're showing in it. I think that.
I'm finally happy that there's different environments like that.
Well, we went to if you remember in the second game, we did go to a snowy area when we were looking for. We were in the tank.
Is that the Sires?
I think that's where we ended up going. To the Sires and everything.
It looks a lot more beautiful though than the Sires.
But, I mean, you gotta think different filters.
I know.
And all that kind of stuff. But
that just means it looks a lot more welcoming.
Yeah, the snowy areas are cool, but there's also them rappelling down a cavern where there's greenery and everything as well. So I like the contrast there, and also whether or not it's an intentional thing or not, or if you're just where the mission takes you is going down. But it could be showing that the rappelling down is just part of the storytelling. Could be going further down into the darkness. 4K.
The darkness, my old friend.
But overall, I think it looks really good. I think seeing Jack again in it.
Yeah, you see him like flying around and stuff.
Yeah, that's a nostalgia thing there. I'm interested to see if how much story is going to involve JD and Marcus in them.
Right.
Or like,
it'll probably definitely be chapters where you play him, play as them.
Yeah, I assume so at least, or maybe just part of the beginning prologue time period, and then your Kate and Tell for the rest, which I wouldn't be against, and maybe hear from them throughout it. I wonder how Jen and everything works into it.
Right. Because Barrett, Sam, Cole, they all survived.
As far as we know, they might have died during.
Oh yeah. I was just talking the initial ending that we saw. We haven't read the comics or anything like that. So
So I don't know.
I think they might. Maybe they have books. I don't know. Books, comics. I don't really pay attention or haven't paid attention to the Gears of War novels or anything like that.
And with the Swarm, though, another thing that
they were attaching themselves to the
DB things.
Yeah.
Which, if you remember in the fourth one, they were able to take control of one of the DBs when they. But there's when Jin was talking to us again, finally realizing, hey, we're not the ones killing all our troops.
DFT.
Fucking DFT. Oh shit. But so I wonder how far the Swarm has become infecting.
Well, and you remember at the same time they all see the same vision. So obviously when they did that and controlled the machine, they're like, oh, or whoever is controlling the Swarm, whoever that hidden antagonist is right now.
I think it's that person with two swords.
I don't know.
I think that's gonna be another ROM or.
I was gonna say to me they're more of a secondary boss, maybe like the bodyguard, or you're not supposed to be here, or I'm taking you, Kate.
It's possible, but I thought the one dude from Gears of War 4, the one that was in control or the one that was trying to, that captured our mother and everything, was going to have a bigger role in it. But also, you know, it's like the one area where he takes Kate's mother, and then next time you run into him, I think you end up killing him. So I wonder if that's going to be how, like, if they're going to get that. I mean, granted, that's basically how the other bosses were, not including Myra or Mira or whatever her name was. Because, I mean, Rom killed Min, and you didn't, I don't think we really saw him ever again until the end.
No.
Scourge did his chainsawing business, and then
I really loved Scourge. Yeah. Just the look of him.
I think then after that we killed him. We might have saw him
I think we killed him in the second game.
Well, we did kill him in the second game. I was just saying after he did his chainsaw business with Dizzy and then Ty and all that stuff. I mean, we might have saw him maybe once or twice and then killed him.
Yeah, and then Mira was a constant.
Mira was a constant. The third one, the fourth one, the guy wasn't. I mean, the guy was there at the beginning and then at the end. So I wonder if the dude. I wonder if the two guy with the two things that, like.
No, I don't think so, because you saw her swinging around some type of pole that had the same type of ending on it.
It could be
killing
a
the
swarm weapon, though, in general.
Oh, yeah.
Different kind of swarm weapon. Or maybe that's after you kill him, you get the weapon, she goes on a rampage killing swarm. Never know. But looks like there's going to be some horror stuff in there with...
Yeah, with the I think those were DBs, right?
Yeah, DBs either taken over by the swarm again or not.
Yeah, I thought that was pretty fucked up. Because I'm sitting there like, oh, she's going for a stealth kill. Why I thought that is beyond. It just looked like it. Like she was like trying to sneak up on him to do a stealth kill, and all of a sudden she had to shoot up, and all of a sudden all these other ones start coming. But I'm okay with the horror.
Yeah, I'm fine with that. But we don't usually enjoy anything.
I don't usually enjoy. I got scared the hell out of playing Fallout today. I killed a ghoul, and there was no other ghoul in sight. And I went down to loot him, and all of a sudden I heard something, and I moved my camera up, and all of a sudden this ghoul like, ah! Jumped right at my face, and I jumped like, what the fuck?
Never be like the Bioshock Infinite jump scare.
I think that's gotten me every time, and I've gone through that game 5 or 6 times, and every single time, and I know what's coming, and I try to brace myself, but that the high pitchedness of the alarm gets me every time.
Yeah, but I'm Gears of War 5 definitely intrigues me. The story mode of it definitely looks really good.
Well, that's my favorite thing.
And graphic, we always go over that story is our favorite thing. So graphically, it looks really good as well. I mean,
I don't think there's never not been a good looking one.
Yeah.
I mean, just like when Gears of War 1 came out in its time, it was one of the best looking ones. Same thing with 2, 3, 4. I mean, it's always the graphics whenever
it's because it's exclusive though. I mean,
yeah, that's why.
If Xbox did more exclusives, I mean, they might and focus on story modes with the exclusives. They might actually be taking on PlayStation 4. I mean, look at fucking Spider-Man that just came out as an exclusive on PlayStation 4. Everybody's talking about it because how awesome it looks and how awesome it is. So.
They just need to reconfigure the focus, but that's besides the point.
Multiplayer-wise with Gears 5, I'm hoping that they don't keep Horde mode locked behind having a gold membership again.
Yeah, that was frustrating because we didn't have online at the time.
We didn't have online at the time, and whether or not we have it when Gears of War 5 comes out.
Yeah.
Just because it's always been off.
Yeah, we were always able to.
It's like when Halo 5 did the whole thing. It's like, you've done it for all these years, and then you just do that, and they learned their lesson at least of we're going to be putting.
I think Gears said the same thing, that they won't do that again. At least I hope they.
I hope they don't do that. I didn't really enjoy the whole salvaging stuff. I mean, obviously, where we had like salvage cards and stuff.
Oh yeah, that was ridiculous.
I'm hoping. I don't want them like locked behind a pay wall. Salvage that way, I would tolerate it as long as it's not behind a pay thing, but. I'm hoping that it's just. I mean,
but to me, I thought it was kind of ridiculous because I mean, every other Gears of War up until that point, you had all the characters, whether you unlocked them through the story or a difficulty level or whatever the case. That to me is fair, but to those who don't have the time to sit and play the multiplayer on a gold membership or have the ability to, or whatever the case may be, and you're not allowed to play those characters, that's where I'm kind of like, oh, come on, that's not fair to everyone.
Yeah.
But
so I'm hoping that with multiplayer wise, that it's Horde mode isn't locked behind another thing, and I'm hoping that we don't have to salvage cards and stuff like that to build characters and build weapons and all that kind of stuff. Just because that to me is just, I mean, maybe some people find enjoyment in it. I personally don't.
Yeah.
Regardless of the game, because there's been more than one that I've experienced that in where you have to like salvage shit just to build what you're doing. Otherwise, I mean, I've never had a big complaint about Gears of War 5 multiplayer. It's always been, or Gears of War in general.
Gears of War multiplayer has always been fun. I've always thought.
Yeah, it's always been fun. We put countless hours.
Gears of War is one of our favorite series of all time.
I mean, Gears of War 3, we beat everything on insane difficulty. We did that.
Even the horde mode.
Yeah.
So that was a lot of fun.
Just the two of us too. We never did.
We didn't play online, so I mean, it was always
just you and me.
It actually fulfills me when we do stupid shit like that, because it's like
it's so stupid.
I know, but we're just
keep bashing our heads against the wall.
We've been on this wave. Remember when we got stuck on like the 40 length wave?
Yeah.
For like ever 5 hours.
Oh. Then we just gave up and we ended up having to go back and do it again.
Yeah. Good times.
I wouldn't necessarily say that, but
we did it though.
Yeah, we did.
How many people can say they did it? 2 people.
True.
I'm sure there's people who can do it solo, but
probably. But
we're not one of those people. Yeah. We're good enough where we can do it together.
I could never do Left 4 Dead's hardest difficulty though. Ever.
I always wanted to try it.
We did try it once.
We did?
Yeah.
Didn't we almost beat?
We got to the final place once and got slaughtered.
Oh.
Like we got to the
That's a sad story.
We got to the extraction zone and we got slaughtered after that. But
we never tried again?
No. We tried again several times. We tried again several times, but we got slaughtered every single time that we just finally gave up on it. But
well, you win some, you lose some.
But I'm overall looking forward to Gears 5. I mean, story mode looks really, really good just based on the 2 trailers that they
I'm completely hooked.
Combat wise, I've never had a real complaint about
Gears is always great. It always flows nicely.
So I've never had a complaint with Gears of War combat or multiplayer, except for the horde mode in Gears of War 5 being locked in on the salvaging stuff. Beyond that, I've always had fun playing it. So
yeah, you and your hammer guns.
It's so fun chasing you with that sometimes. I had good times doing that.
Yeah, so those are our thoughts on Gears of War 5. I mean, we're obviously definitely excited for it. Yeah. I'm really looking forward to seeing where they take the story. I'm very happy that to me it seems like the story is going to focus on Kate and Del, my 2 favorite characters. The new squad, so I'm definitely looking forward to the story. I think, like you said, the environments look gorgeous, and obviously the gameplay will be great because it always is with Gears of War. So make sure if you enjoyed the video, you headbutt the like button, subscribe to our channel for more video game content, and make sure you leave a comment down below to let us know what video game you want to see us cover next. So this is Nerdygymbros, signing off.